Good morning, people of Tokane. Happy Easter, everybody. Did you all wake up just like me to these crazy Easter airdrops? Obviously, the Easter airdrop thing was a joke. It's a big shout out to someone in the Discord channel who's been constantly putting up animated GIFs and photos like this. He's really been making me laugh over the last few months, so I just wanted to give him a shout out. But I do have a little present for someone. I said I will give away a Munch Moon skin, and now is the time to randomly pick one of the 103 participants. Ooh. Here we go. Big shout out to Ru. Just send me your wallet in DM and I will send you the Munchman skin, which is currently at 0.7 Sol. So respect. Don't worry, there will be many giveaways along the journey of Aurory. The next one will be on Twitch, so I already invite you to follow my Twitch channel. But you know what? Just follow all my channels. Follow YouTube, follow Twitch, follow Twitter, and make sure that you're always up to date with my posts and with my giveaways. So now let's get into the video itself, everybody. I got to interview Johnny Aurory this week, and I really want to share with you everything he had to say. It's really interesting. It's 15 minutes long. If you want to jump from one chapter to the next, you can just check in the timeline down there. So yeah, just enjoy. Let's jump into the Aurory-verse now.
Here we are, everybody, with the executive producer himself of Aurory, Mr. Jonathan Campo, aka Johnny Aurory, who has a huge background in shipping games. So we're going to find out more about his experience before, but also especially his experience now with Aurory. The beta is right around the corner, and I feel this is the perfect moment to have you here. So thanks for jumping onto my modest YouTube channel, and I'll just let you introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Rafi. So yeah, I've been in the video game industry since 2003. Then I started trickling in the ranks of the video game industry gradually. And for the past few years, I've been really on the direction side of making video games and sort of building out production pipelines and all that to help big projects, mainly Ubisoft for a long time. So I guess I'm celebrating this year will be my 20th anniversary in the industry. And I figured what better way than to release my first blockchain game.
Okay. So what got you into Aurory? Was it a contact at Ubisoft, or is it Steph?
Yeah, so it was Stefan who actually contacted me first. At the time, I was at UB working on the monetization pipeline for big projects like Assassin's Creed and Far Cry. And Stefan called me up out of the blue one afternoon asking me if I was focused or interested in blockchain. At the time, I think I had like a Binance account, nothing really more than that. I was just trading really part-time. Yeah, he called me up and asked me if I was interested in helping structure a new project that he was helping Jan with. I was not necessarily looking for anything really. I was happy with Ubisoft pioneering this new tech with a brand new team. Like I was setting up my own department and things were going great. But you know, having done some research, I found it really interesting what the NFT gaming market was creating. Like immediately when I saw the light paper at the time, the first version, I saw the potential just in terms of approach and vision and direction. And, you know, I have full confidence in Steph. I have full confidence in Jan too. Both are extremely talented in their own spheres. That's part of the reasons why I felt like I was comfortable joining the project. Jan is really more on the art side. You know, you guys saw the aesthetics of Aurory. It's really clean and pleasing to the eye. Yeah. And Steph is really more the brainchild of all the creative. And then I'm mainly more the daddy figure between the two.
So it's kind of interesting because you did discover also Aurory through the light paper somehow, like all of us, and that's nice. Well, it's not something I have hidden, but I'm really in love with all aspects of the game, the art, the project, the gameplay. Also really big fan of like turn-based tactical games, and obviously the potential of trading assets outside the game itself through the marketplace. That's really exciting. And since the team has like at Aurory, you guys are more than 50 employees right now.
Yeah, we've reached 50. Actually, if I count Slackbot because they're helping us a lot, and the Discord bots.
Hmm.
I think we're about 52 right now.
Well, and then I was surprised to find out that you guys are actually not centralized at all. You're kind of scattered between Montreal and Paris, I think. So can you give us like briefly, because I know there's a lot going on, but what is it like to work as a team like this, scattered around on a blockchain project, new technology? What's like the workflow like? I'm super curious about that.
There's a lot of info. I'll try to give a general idea. I'll be happy to. I think Aurory is definitely split in 6 different time zones. So it's definitely a challenge when you want to regroup everybody. We have employees in New Zealand, actually, in France, obviously, as well, on the West Coast, on the East Coast. The dev team is really focused in Montreal just because the talent pool here has been crazy for the past decade plus. We have a lot of good studios, a lot of good talent. So we all come from sort of that industry in Montreal, but we've started expanding, especially our backend team in San Francisco. We have one in Hawaii as well. Everybody's super...
It's like, we want a guy in Hawaii so we can all join at his place.
Exactly. Everybody wants to go work there. Everybody's jealous. But no, it's definitely a challenge to get everybody together. So definitely something we do is record most of our meetings so that everybody can just watch them at their leisure and catch up.
So I imagine you have like small teams divided. Yeah.
We have different teams split in many different segments, or we call them like trades, if you will. So yes, Jan is overseeing the art, but he's got assistant art directors with him as well, Claire, for designing all the NFTs. We have also Simon, who's really more on the world, the environment. So our hierarchy is rather flat. We're all mainly seniors, but we do have key people that are in charge of infusing that high-level vision and direction to the artists and the team. So we have dedicated directors on the art side, dedicated directors on the tech side, because making a game is definitely, there's 2 components. There's the code, the tech, and then there's the data, which is essentially, all the art stuff, all the fancy stuff that you see on screen. And the whole purpose of game development is to make sure that the code and the data talk to each other and they're friendly and everything works fine. So at a high level, that's our biggest challenge, making sure that whatever technology that we develop for Aurory, then the data and the art matches that tech so that everything works fine and there's no bugs to it.
Yeah, it seems like an extra challenge for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks a lot for detailing. That's really cool to hear. So when is the big question on everybody's mind in the community? You've had to slightly postpone beta release because first impressions are very important. I think everybody in the community has been super appreciative of the comment you've left at the end of the latest dev update. It was really, really thoughtful. But can you share with us more or less what still needs to be done and why things shouldn't be rushed?
It was a decision that we took a while to take. It's not something I wanted to take lightly, but the reason I didn't feel confident enough releasing it as is was primarily in terms of security. We're creating an online persistent game. That infrastructure and the needs that we need to put into place just in terms of security is pretty colossal. We want obviously thousands and thousands of players to be able to play simultaneously. So I want us to take the time to protect our IP and what we've developed. I'm happy that our CTO, Levani and Julian, they're both here to make sure that we take the necessary precaution for that not to happen. On that note, I'm super happy to announce, and I can probably just say it as a premiere here. It's not related to when, don't worry. But we managed to snatch a really, really key player in the Rainbow Six Siege franchise that will help us sort of maintain our online infrastructure. It's huge for me personally because that means that we're getting the AAA quality experience to bring it to a blockchain GameFi game for the first time. I'm talking about the guy that actually, he's been on call for Rainbow Six Siege for such a long time to fix their online issues and security issues. And for me, that was a huge win. And he's super hyped up. He's super happy to join us. He's going to make, our infrastructure super secure. Once we release the game, I'll promise you players will see the quality of what we're trying to achieve, but not only visually, in terms of gameplay mechanics as well. Like, we need to make sure this thing is fun. We need to push the utility of the token, obviously, because the economy is something that we take very seriously. We have a really math whiz with us that's really, really good at what he does. Outside of like the infrastructure, the back end, and making it secure, the extra time will just give us that polished time that we haven't had yet. Like, we're really focused on that WebGL build.
Sorry, what's a WebGL?
The WebGL essentially is the technology that runs all the web-based game. Essentially, it's a game that you can play directly in your browser. We wanted to opt for that option because Aurory has the mission to not only deliver something of quality to the blockchain community, but also the ones that don't know necessarily what crypto gaming is. We want to use the opportunity that we have here to sort of educate people as well. And the PvE is going to play a huge part of that. We have a cool opportunity here to sort of create links with what's happening in the real world crypto market. So, having fun with connecting your wallet inside the game or having fun with core crypto terms or mechanics or whatever, I think is going to be key for us to stay relevant.
So that's the reason you want it in a browser rather than a client?
Well, the browser is really because it's easier to access. There's a whole platform behind it that we're also building to make sure that we can support not only the actual game, but blockchain experiences as well.
Nice.
That we'll create, that other people can create as well. Like the vision, and I know I'm skipping ahead to the other question, but the vision for Aurory was always to start small with a game to test, to dip our toes basically in the water in terms of what it means to create a game on blockchain. The Web3 skill set is fairly new. It's being developed. There's so many different things that we could do. When we get to the utility aspect of NFTs, that's where things get really interesting, and not just NFTs inside Aurory, but it could be other different experiences outside of that using the IP itself.
I imagine you'd be able to transfer your assets from the Aurory main game to kind of like the mini games maybe, or like...
We're testing that, yes, as we speak, and we've had some great results so far.
Super excited. Okay, I think you kind of like answered, what you're excited about the space and how do you see the future of Aurory, if you want to add something about that.
Yeah, in terms of NFTs, like something that I've been thinking about in terms of adding value for future NFTs in the game. Like we could be super creative. For example, if a gamer finds this once in a lifetime NFT somewhere in the game, possibly the NFT will give access to the dev team for a call for a lunch or something like that.
That's so cool. It's extra value in real life value. That's
right. It could be anything. I gave the lunch or access to the dev team, but it could really be, getting a free t-shirt or getting a plushie, instant merch that you could find in game. They'll ship it to gamers. Wow. That's something I haven't seen yet, so I think it's super cool. And what you guys are seeing now is definitely just the beginning.
Yeah, and the universe you're creating, that kind of antique and archaeologic searching things, you can put anything you want.
Exactly.
So this is like the bonus question. I'm really curious, do you and the team follow all the speculation thrown around in the community? Does it sometimes inspire the team to work on things that weren't originally planned?
For sure. I try to read it on a weekly basis, believe it or not. When we post anything, I try to go through the comments. Same thing with Discord. I go through the general chat. I try to do it once a week. I go through the ideas and feedback. I've requested Tim and Mike to keep a backlog of all suggestions and questions. So that's something that I'm definitely keeping an eye on. I think the Web3 communities is definitely different than the traditional market. It's way more intimate, I'll say it like that, for lack of a better word. But it's definitely a great way to get the overall pulse from the community, which is something I really appreciate, because the community for Aurory has been crazy in terms of contribution, passion. They're one of a kind. I wanted to take 2 minutes to thank everybody here listening to this and looking forward to Aurory. I think you guys are going to be in for a treat. Thank you for being kind to one another and helping us ship this thing. Your motivation and passion is what drives us. Continue to post your ideas, to contribute. We're rolling out new ways to get voting systems in, to start like voting on different ideas.
It's really nice because I have to agree as like a participant in the ecosystem that we really feel part of the project, or at least there's a space for people to get involved.
Yes, it's super important for me. I mean, the team has been doing so well in that regard way before I came on, in terms of fostering a positive community. Like I said earlier, I think it's always gratifying for us to see players and members of the community dedicate themselves to our project. It's a really nice vote of confidence, and it's something that motivates us to really push ourselves further as well, to deliver something that do justice to the quality of our community and to our standard of games that we want to create in this new space. So keep an eye on Aurory project for sure in the coming weeks. We're really anxious to showcase what we've been working on, but it's important for us to test our servers and our systems with a small pool of players first before we open the floodgates to everybody. So bear with us as we go through that process. We just want to make sure that everybody's safe playing. There's nothing more frustrating than a failed launch, and we've had too many failed launches in the video game industry lately. I don't want to add my project to that list. So
I think it's easy for us to forget that you guys all have a reputation, you all have been playing role in the industry, and you're not just in your garage building a game and seeing where it goes and having fun.
So yeah,
sure, no, we're professionals, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you started in a garage though, no?
No, I didn't start in my garage. I started in a really small loft.
Okay.
Which is the same thing when you think about it.
But anyway, really, really cool. Thanks for joining, and really thanks for leaving us the space to the community to evolve on its own and create its own thing, and very exciting.
For sure. We'll let's put something in the books when we get closer to launch, and maybe we can have a one-on-one.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Rafi.
Thank you. Bye bye.